Hello everyone, I'm Rahul and I welcome you to this fourth session of Gautam Buddha series. In the previous session, we learned about the first two noble truths, which are the diagnosis of human suffering. Now the third truth tells us what the cure is. The third truth says that we can end our suffering. How? By letting go of the need to react with liking and disliking a pleasant sensation. So what is the cause of suffering? The cause of suffering is our reaction. And if we can let go of this need to react, then we will be free of suffering. Look how precise Buddha is. First he says that life is suffering. Then he tries to find out the cause of suffering. And in the third step he says that if we can remove the cause of suffering, then suffering will also be removed with it. Now the fourth truth says that the cause of suffering can be removed with a path. And it turns out that Buddha has prescribed an eightfold path. And this eightfold path has three factors in it. First is sila, which means morality. Second is samadhi, which means concentration. And the third is pana, which means wisdom. Now morality has three steps in it. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And concentration again has three steps in it. Right effort, right awareness, and right concentration. And wisdom finally has two steps in it. Right thought and right understanding. So these are three integral factors in Buddhist meditation: morality, concentration, and wisdom. And these three factors kind of grow together as your practice deepens. So you don't have to cultivate them separately. These three things kind of grow together as you become more and more aware in your life. Now at first, it might appear to you as a very complex thing, an orthodox thing also, as if Buddha is giving you some commandments and rules to live. But that's not the case. If you will examine it closely, you will find that these three factors or these 8 steps are nothing but different dimensions of this single phenomena. Right awareness, sammasati. Sammasati simply means that whatsoever you're doing in your life, you do it with absolute awareness. You do it with absolute consciousness. You do it with absolute alertness. Why? Because awareness and the tendency to react with liking and disliking cannot coexist. You can't be aware of the cause of suffering and still practice it, right? Would you touch a hot surface if you know it deeply that touching the hot surface is harmful for you? You will be burned. You will not touch the hot surface. Likewise, if you know it clearly, if you see it clearly that the cause of suffering is our tendency to react, would you react? You will not react. So if you will still choose to react, then perhaps you have not seen it clearly that the cause of suffering is our tendency to react. Now, in a way, these 8 steps are nothing but the application of awareness in various aspects of our life. See the beauty of Buddha. He is not saying that you should meditate for 1 hour and be finished with it. Then you get the license to be unconscious for 23 hours. No. He's saying that your whole life should become meditation. And remember, awareness is another name for meditation. Buddha says that whatsoever you're doing in your life, it should happen with awareness. If you're eating, eat with awareness. If you're talking, talk with awareness. If you're thinking, think with awareness. If you're listening, listen with awareness. Nothing should happen in your life without awareness, without consciousness. For example, if you're eating food, eat with full awareness. Then whatsoever you eat will become right. Buddha never says that eat this and don't eat that. No, he does not give you any morality towards food. He simply tells you that whatsoever you are eating, eat with full awareness. And if your awareness says no, then don't eat it. So can you eat animal meat with awareness? No, it's not possible. Eating animal meat is only possible with unawareness. And I'm not giving you any morality here. Try to understand it. If you are aware, you will realize that it doesn't make sense to kill an animal to satisfy your taste buds, right? But we live in a capitalist society where someone else is killing the animal for us. Someone else is committing the murder for us. We are not committing the murder. We are simply paying the other person so that he can kill the animal and serve the animal to us on a platter like fruits and berries. So we eat the dead meat without realizing that we are eating flesh, without realizing that we have participated in a murder. We have participated in the violence. Now this is unawareness. How many of us would choose to kill an animal every day to satisfy our hunger, to satisfy our taste buds. I think not many of us would choose to do that. Because who would want to go through the aggression, the violence, the pain of hunting and killing the animal every day? Who would want to confront the pain of the animal every day? I think not many of us would choose to do that. Because we are very sensitive creatures. Human beings are not deep down violent. We have the capacity to love, we have the capacity to care. We are the most compassionate creatures on this planet. So I think not many of us would choose to kill an animal to satisfy our hunger. So this is what Buddha means. If you will eat food with awareness, you will not participate in violence. You will not participate in aggression. You will not destroy life. You will be creative, right? So your morality should arise from your consciousness, from your awareness. Likewise, he applies the method of awareness in other aspects of our life. When he says right effort, he means that don't make too much effort and also don't make too less effort either. Make right effort, the balanced effort, so that you do not disturb your tranquility. And his word for this balance is Majjhim Nikaya, the middle way. Understand this thing, that life is like walking on a tightrope. If you will lean too far towards the left, you're bound to fall. So finding yourself leaning too far towards the left, you have to lean towards right to keep the balance. Finding yourself leaning too far towards the right, again you have to lean back towards left to keep the balance. And to do that, a great awareness is needed. To do that, a great effort is needed. The point that I'm trying to make is that it is our tendency to react with liking and disliking that creates imbalance in our life. The tendency to react takes us to the extreme. For example, if you're eating food and you like the taste of food, you overeat. And what happens when you overeat? You become lethargic, you put on weight, you become unhealthy. So the imbalance arises out of this tendency to react with craving for pleasant sensation, more food, more delicious food, more delicious food. If someone says something bad to you, something rude to you, again, you react with aversion, you react with aggression and violence and hatred towards that person. Again, the imbalance arises and you lose the tranquility, you lose the peace. So anything that makes you lose your peace is suffering. And your tendency to react with liking and disliking, craving and aversion creates this suffering in your life. So awareness is what makes us free from the tendency to react. Otherwise, we will just go on reacting automatically. Because of our biological conditioning, because of our environmental conditioning, we will always react with liking a pleasant sensation and disliking an unpleasant sensation. We will not have a choice. We will simply be a puppet in nature's hand. If nature wants us to react with craving, we will crave. If nature wants us to react with aversion, we will have an aversion towards unpleasant sensation. So where is freedom in all this? There is no freedom. There is only suffering. Now finally the question arises, how to bring awareness in every area of your life? It's very easy to talk about awareness, but it's very difficult to live with it. It's one thing to understand something intellectually, and it's totally another thing to understand something experientially. And Buddha's emphasis is on experiential wisdom. And the device he has used to provide us this experiential wisdom is called Vipassana Bhavana. You might have heard of Vipassana meditation. It's just a tool so we can develop an experiential understanding of things, so that we can develop an experiential wisdom, which is not borrowed, which is not based on faith, which is based on our experience. Osho used to say that after Buddha, religion became very mature. Why? Because Buddha kind of gave eyes to the religion. Before that, religion was blind. Before that, it was based on faith, it was based on belief. But Buddha said, religion should be based on experience. If you have realized something yourself, then only it has value. Otherwise, you're just repeating words like parrot. Otherwise, you're just hallucinating on your scriptures. It has no truth to it. It will not transform your life. It will not change your life. So Buddha's religion has been classified as Ihipasika. Ihipasika is a Pali word which means come and see. This was Buddha's message. Come and see, not come and believe. He did not ask you to believe in him. He just asked you to come and see what he has seen. He invites you like a friend. He's not preaching anything. Like a friend, he tells you, come and see, and then you will also become free of suffering. So in the next session, we will explore what Vipassana is. I will give you a very traditional view of the practice. At the same time, we will also question the traditional view, the ritualistic view of the practice. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.